Good day, good day, good day, people. This is me getting everything set up and ready for an awesome day. I got some footage to show y'all. So basically, what today is, I basically came out here just to catch mullet, which many people don't believe that you can catch mullet on a hook. You don't have to net mullet, and this is proof that you can actually chum up mullet and catch them on a hook. And I'm pretty good at it. I've done it for a while. I actually claim to be one of the best fishermen there is as far as a rod and reel, because in my field of fishing, I catch. Just watch the video. You'll see what I'm talking about. So the stuff that I'm throwing out is my own personal mixture. It's what I find to work pretty well, and as you can see, it works pretty well. As soon as you throw it out there, you can just give it a few minutes to to marinate in the water, and as it marinates, the fish smell it. They come, they see it. So it has both. It has a visual, and it has a sensual. Basically, you can smell the fish smells it, and they can see it, so they like it. So, I throw it out, chum the water up, and what I'm catching are mullet. And these are actual mullet. And it's pretty awesome fish, and they taste awesome. I don't know for people that have smoked mullet and that like smoked mullet, but I'm one of those guys that catch the mullet and and, and eat smoked mullet. Now, what I did was, after chumming the water for a while, I catch a few fish, and then I chum the water again, but I keep it chummed up, so my fish are non-stop. I'm basically catching them back to back to back. These awesome, delicious, fat mullet. Mouth watering right now. Just looking at each time I put one in the bucket. One of these days I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna show you how to catch mullet on top water. Basically using no lead or a small piece of lead and a bobber or some type of flotation. But that works pretty good also. So there's many different ways to have mullet, because that hickory smoke is the way I like it. So I'm catching these mullet to hickory smoke them for about 4 or 5 hours. I don't like them to be all dried up, but I do like them to be, smoked pretty well. And I use Everglades seasoning also. That Everglades, it's almost compared to none. But I know a few that's also almost as good, but Everglades is hands down one of the best. And no, I'm not sponsored by Everglades to say Everglades seasoning. It's just what I like. A sponsorship would be nice though. If y'all out there listening, Mr. Everglades Company. So as you put the line out there, you gotta. I put my hand on the line when I put it out there. I put my hand on just the line, my finger on the line alone, so I can tell if the fish biting, because they pull very soft. So you don't really get a second chance once they pull that one initial pull. They already know that it's something that's not going to be edible, so they don't come back to it. So you have to pull it in and then put it back out there again, so they can see it fall down. It basically, it floats down, and it resembles something edible to them, and they try it. And that's all I need is for them to sample it, because if they sample my pole, I mean, the truth be told, if they brush past my pole, I have every intentions on procuring my bounty. But sometimes I miss. I don't catch them every time, but I'm pretty good. As far as ratio, I'm pretty good. As I really miss. I barely miss a fish. You know, I'm just because I've done it for a while, so I practice on my reflexes to pull to snatch, pull to snatch. So I do pretty well when it comes down to this. And then the scenery is really awesome. It's really relaxing out here, and it's, I mean, you can see boats. It's everything. Everything is out here. I even seen sometime I used to come down here and see a bunch of sheephead down here at the bottom. But I fish for sheephead, but not on this day. On this day, I'm strictly fishing for mullet. So what I'm doing is I'm tight lining, and I have a lead at the bottom, and I have about two, maybe three hooks, in conjunction with each other. They basically in a line. So, and I'm using a piece of white bait. I'm using, I go to the store, I buy, some white bait. I cut it into small pieces, and I put it on the tip of my hook. And I put the lead at the bottom, three hooks, two or three hooks on top of the lead, and I throw it out there. And then I tighten the line up enough till I can feel when the fish hit the line, bump the line, graze the line. Hey, man, the truth be told, they might not even breathe on my line. Because if they breathe on it, it's possible he could end up in this bucket going home on this field trip with me. So after I put the piece of white bait on the hook and I throw it out there, then I chum a little bit, and I let the chum sit in the water, and they see the white bait, and it looks more brighter than the chum, so they usually go after it first, and I do pretty well. I like this type of fishing. It's more sustainable. I like rod and reel fishing, even as far as commercial fishing. Commercial fishing, rod and reel fishing, I think is pretty awesome because it is absolutely more sustainable than gill nets or any of those other, as far as commercial fishing. But right now I'm just regular fishing. I'm fishing for the consumption. I'm gonna put this on my table and eat it because I like mullet. I like the way they taste. I like them fried, baked, stewed, barbecued. I mean, you can put them on the grill, and the all favorite smoked mullet with fish dip. It's really good. It is really, really, really good. And right now I'm in Florida. This is 2020, but I think this is basically, I think I'm in right now. It's October the 22nd. That's the day's date. Yeah, October the 22nd. I'm out here fishing, and I really like it. The area is really nice, and the fish are awesome. Look how fat that fish. Look at him. Look at his size. So I know the area is kind of a little junky, but we make sure we clean it up before we leave. I mean, we make absolutely certain we clean it up before we leave because we want to continue to be able to fish out here. And the truth be told, I support that whole mindset for people that love to fish and they love to fish in the area. Usually people will not complain if you keep your music down to the low and you don't have it junky. You don't get out there doing any cursing and yelling and screaming and making a spectacle of yourself. Go out there, fish, have you some fun, and go back home. And most importantly, keep your area clean. Because if you keep it clean, nobody won't complain. If you come there and leave the area the same way it was when you got there, or even in a better shape, all they can do is love you. We mess around, we might start to change the name of fishermen. Up there with that catfish. Catfish had to go down there and get him a share of the food also. Now, I actually don't. I don't eat saltwater catfish. I don't know if there's anything wrong with them or not. I just never ate one, so I always throw them back. I just tradition, I guess. You don't see me throwing them back, but I actually put them on the other side over there, not right there where I'm fishing, so I don't have to worry about catching him again. Yeah, I caught a lot, but this one I missed. I was on the phone with somebody called Sweetie Pie. I was on the phone with her, and as soon as I got on the phone, it seemed like the fish was looking out the water, and he seen that I was talking, and bit my pole. He's a smart fish. And they was like, "Yeah, he's on the phone. Go ahead, try it. Let's see if it's good." And that's when they bit it. But I had to put the phone down and go ahead on and get back to my fishing, because I had a good of people at the house, and they was wanting to try this smoked mullet thing. Yeah, I was really catching them. Now they don't look like it, but those fish are they was ranging in between 3 to 5 pounds. That's how big those fish actually are. It don't look like they're 5 pound fish, but they're 5 pound fish. It's a few of them that was in there with 5 pound, but yeah, none of them was up under three. All of them was basically 3 pounds and above. They was nice sized fish. I had to fillet them and then cut them into fours because they was just that big of a fish. And as you can see, I keep chumming the water. I try to make sure I keep it chummed up, because it's not necessarily the more chum you put out there, the more you'll catch fish, or the way to fish. But I make sure I keep them, I keep them busy, you know. So as soon as I threw that chum out is when he pulled it, and I caught him. Reflection, that reaction time is pretty awesome. But as soon as I threw the chum out there, he pulled the line. I had to get him. And that's usually how fish are. They usually wait till you're doing something, outside of fishing, and your focus is not on that line, and that's when he strikes, with the intent of getting away with your bait. And this rag that I have beside me, I usually keep it just to wipe away any excess fish residue. Because sometimes they can get a little wet, and they have water and a little bit of slime that kind of goes everywhere. So I try to keep it off me and keep it off the poles, so it don't gulk up everything with in between the bait that I'm using, the chum I'm using, and the fish water, and sometimes it'll have everything all all caked up. So I try to keep it down. But these fish, they keep biting, and I mean, I keep pulling them in, and I had fun that day. My next video is gonna be top water mullet fishing with a caulk. So y'all stay looking out for that video, okay? Oh, and be a part of the drive. Like and subscribe.